narrate the game young. You can call it statutory when a nigga blow up. They gon' build statues for me. Old money, Benjamin Button, what nothing. Now super bad chicks giving me McLovin'. You would think I ran the world like Michelle's husband. You would think these niggas know me when they really doesn't. Like they was down with the old me, no you fucking wasn't. You such a fucking loser. He ain't even go to class. Bueller, trade the Grammy plaques just to have my granny back. Remember she had that bad hip like a fanny pack. Chasing the stardom would turn you to a maniac. All the way in Hollywood and I can't even act. They pull their cameras out and goddamn they snap. I used to want this thing forever, y'all can have it back.
I'm coming home, tell the world that I'm coming home. Let the rain wash away all the pain of yesterday. And all my kingdom awaits, and they've forgiven my mistakes. I'm coming home, coming home, tell the world that I'm coming home.
Okay, hello, it's the Martian, Space Jam Jordans. I want this shit forever, wake up and smell the garden, fresher than the harvest, step up to the target. If I had one guess, then I guess I'm just New Orleans. And I will never stop, like I'm running from the cops. Hopped up in my car and told my chauffeur to the top. Life is such a fucking roller coaster, then it drops. But what should I scream for? This is my theme park. My mind shine even when my thoughts seem dark. Pistol on my side, you don't wanna hear that thing talk. Let the king talk, check the price and pay attention. Lil Wayne, that's what they gotta say or mention. I'm like Nevada in the middle of the summer. I'm resting in the lead, I need a pillow in the cover. My foot sleeping on the gas. No brake pads, no such thing as last.
I'm coming home, tell the world that I'm coming home. Let the rain wash away all the pain of yesterday. And all my kingdom awaits, and they've forgiven my mistakes. I'm coming home, coming home, tell the world that I'm coming home.
There they go, back in stadiums, the shady spits his flow. Nuts they go, macadamian they go, so ballistic, whoa. He can make them look like bozos, he's wondering if he should spit this slow. Fuck no, go for broke, his cup just runneth over, oh no. He ain't had him a boss like this since the last time that he overdosed. They've been waiting patiently for Pinocchio to poke his nose. Back into the game and they know rap will never be the same as before. Passing in the brains of these hoes and establishing a name as he goes. The passion and the flame is ignited, you can't put it out once we light it. This shit is exactly what the fuck that I'm talking about when we riot. You dealing with a few true villains who stand inside of the boot, true spilling and spit true feelings until our truth feelings come flying up out of our mouths. Now rewind it. Payback, motherfucker, for the way that you got at me. How's it taste? When I slap the taste out of your mouth with the bass so loud that it shakes the place. I'm Hannibal Lecter, so just in case you're thinking of saving face, you ain't gonna have no face to say by the time I'm through with this place. So Dre,
I'm coming home, tell the world that I'm coming home. Let the rain wash away all the pain of yesterday. And all my kingdom awaits, and they've forgiven my mistakes. I'm coming home, coming home, tell the world that I'm coming home.
It's homecoming week here at Riverside, California, home of the Tigers, who have won 28 consecutive games in this building, that being Wheelock Stadium. And Dan, outside of one half against Chaffey College last week, if Isaac Whitney wants to make a case for any university, including the offensive coordinator for USC, who is in the building tonight, one of the 11 D1 universities that have given him a scholarship offer throughout this season, if he wants to reach the next level, he's going to have to make a play. Outside of the one half, he has been shut out, partner. 0 catches here through 30 minutes of football.
Well, it hasn't totally been his fault completely, to say. Coach Tom Kraft, again, electing to arrest a lot of guys and not using all of his starters full-time. They've been working sort of a part-time job today.
Alejandro Marenko leads the team in receiving tonight with 2 catches for 29 yards, including a 26-yarder that put the Tigers to the 1. Then Nicholas King was able to get in the end zone and give the Tigers a 10-7 lead. Of course, that was when Citrus College went on their own long drive. It was a 5-play, 75-yard march that was capped off with a cut berth to Patrick Smith touchdown connection. Your thoughts of the opening half here, Dan? It's homecoming, and the Citrus College Owls are ready to spoil the whole deal here at Wheelock Stadium.
You would think an 8-1 team would totally dominate a 3-6 team like Citrus. A reason being, again, Coach Tom Kraft has elected to challenge this team. Not necessarily the starters, but the guys in the lower parts of the depth chart, the second stringers, the third stringers, and below that. These guys are going to have to step up and play at a much higher level if they expect to take the lead down 14-10 in this first half.
And the Tigers was a team that, despite trailing for most of the game, they were able to win the ball game here at this very stadium last year against Citrus College in a 51-50 back-and-forth affair, a barn burner, 101 points put up by both ball clubs. Of course, not going to be the same here tonight, only
exactly
14-10, but
no
Dan,
way.
I am pretty darn sure that we're in for the exact same type of last-second affair that we were in a year ago.
That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like it's going to play out. But I wouldn't just say that. I would have to take a look at the first 2 to 3 possessions and see what RCC elects to do. Maybe Coach Tom Kraft says, okay, I allowed the first stringers to not play so much, but now the second half is when I would let you guys go out there and run wild.
This is a ball club that outscores next to every single team that they have faced this season in the second half. The kickoff will be returnable. Here goes Tremel Davis angling from right to left. The flag is down, and he scurries his way out to around the 16-yard line. An unnecessary tackle made at around the 10. Tremel Davis for a return of 6 with a flag down.
Citrus on defense has done sort of a okay job, I would say, allowing a very high-potent offense to only 10 points in the first half. That's really decent. I mean, you're not expected to win this game, but for you to just hold 10 points to the number 1 team in the state, not bad at all.
Well, Riverside, averaging over 400 yards per game, have been held in check, only 124 yards today, including that running game, only shut down to around 72. They're averaging over the last month at 235. Denzel Foster, who stands at his own end zone, will be behind the hip of Nicholas King. The Tigers set up shop, down by 4 with a 1st and 10 at their own 8. Handoff goes Foster, and he's bullied to the turf at around the 9-yard line. Tackle made by Darren Turner. That may be a gain of 1 or 2. Isaac Whitney into the game. No catches tonight. He's pushed out to the left-hand side.
That's right, Nick. And Isaac Whitney, Denzel Foster, Nicholas King, the main components of this offense are out there, and that's good to see.
The Tigers are looking to make it 6 consecutive wins here after a 2-1 start, make it 7, as King on a second down runs for maybe a play back to the line of scrimmage. She'll make it 3rd down and 9. This is the opening drive of the second half, and the Tigers are already pushing to an area where they have struggled, an unfriendly 3 of 10 on 3rd downs in the first half, make it a 3rd and 9.
We've seen a lot of basic plays from Riverside.
Very conservative.
Yes, I would like to see something deep, something at least above 10 yards.
Play action fake, King looking left, all sorts of time, fires over the middle, and it bounces off the face mask of Alejandro Marenko. That'll be the second drop pass for him in as many weeks, and the Tigers have to trot off the field offensively. It's a 3 and out, and on the punt is Anthony Zamora, 4th down.
Alejandro Marenko currently leading this team with 2 catches for 29 yards, and right there, I wouldn't even call that a drop catch. It hit his helmet. He didn't use his hands. Instead, he tried to use his body to catch it.
That was a touch low to the shoe tops of Marenko out of Alif Taylor, Texas. He's the transfer from Fullerton College who snagged earlier on in the day just his 9th and 10th reception of the season. As Smith will let it bounce, and on a hop here goes the return man. Smith outside, 35, a flag is down, and this one is coming back. But the Tigers read it beautifully as he runs out of bounds at his own 32. We'll check the penalty. 13:43 to go here. Dan Gadino here on the National Sports Radio station along with Nick Rice. Tigers trail 14-10.
Not exactly what we expected, right? 10
we expected a blowout in the making.
Yes, we did. And we were talking about it all week. This game is not going to stand up to it's not going to hold up to its own. It's going to be a boring game, but so far so good, and it's been I would say rather exciting.
Well, the Tigers are ranked number 1 in the state of California and will face off against Ventura College. Again, Citrus College, they are out at a 3-6 mark. Even if they were to win today, it would be a done deal for the Owls this season. But just a game update here from Riverside. Ventura College lost and fell to 6-4 with the L. It was a 25-19 defeat to the hands of Bakersfield College, a ball club that Riverside won 51-3 in the opening week of the season.
Possibly a first-round matchup for Riverside is Ventura, by the way.
Yeah, it very well could be. In fact, outside of a disappointment by the polls, that will be the case. Pass out to the near side, caught that should be catch number 4 and is out to the near side to Errol Romney, make it a gain of 8 or 9.
Romney doing very well in the season, over 500 yards and 5 touchdowns so far in this old season, we could say, in the last game
That's right.
of the regular season.
Well, 4 catches for 63 yards out of the sophomore Romney. He's pushed out to the left-hand side. Now it's a 2nd and short. Cutbirth leading by 4 is already diagnosing yet another scoring drive. Citrus College ended the half with a touchdown to Patrick Smith. Hand off to Emmanuel Pooler, who's able to bounce off 1 tackle and gain maybe a half yard. He'll be a whisker short of the marker, made it 3rd and inches.
For a team that doesn't rush for many yards or even rush the ball a lot, the first half and already in this second half, we've seen Citrus go to the ground, which is a rarity.
Rarity. They only run the ball 31% of the time over the course of the year. Emmanuel Pooler, throughout 9 games, has only carried the football 50 times coming in. Meanwhile, Denzel Foster had over 130 carries. 2-back set, handoff, no on a read option. No, Cutbirth is unable to get the ball away. That will be a sack to Devontae Wilson, make it number 4 for the Tigers today. Boy, I certainly thought that Cutbirth got rid of the football. That was a curious call on 3rd down for the Owls.
Don't know what they were thinking there. I mean,
I don't either.
You could say that was sort of like a trickery type of a play, but right there, broken right off the bat. Riverside all on top of that one. All over that one, I would say.
Well, all the Owls did is trick themselves. It's a nice little flip-flopping a series here to begin the second half with 11:50 to go before the 4th quarter hits. And, boy, will that be a wild final stanza given that this continues to be a defensive slugfest. The Tigers will receive the football following a very generous Citrus hop at their own 21. That'll be a punt of about 55. No return.
Nicholas King, Denzel Foster, and Isaac Whitney.
They've got to wake up.
They've got to wake up somehow, some way, create something for themselves right here.
Nicholas King has begun the 3rd quarter here, 7 of 14 passing, only 50% for a measly 52 yards. Was sacked earlier on in the game and has 0 touchdown passes, but also no interceptions, Dan. This is a Nicholas King-led offense that has only turned the football over twice over the last month. A fumble and only 1 pick by Nicholas King. Snap is back. Handoff goes to Foster, able to zigzag out of 1 man. Keeps on going. 30 on his feet, 35. And outside the numbers is bullied out of bounds. Veered to the sideline after a 14-yard pickup. Foster will move the chains. Only the 6th first down tonight for the Tigers move the chains.
We all know Nicholas King wants to win this game. So does Denzel Foster.
Absolutely.
With that type of a run. Big time.
Foster and King have combined for 90% of the offensive yardage so far this season. Handoff goes to the halfback Foster for a gain of 1, maybe 2. Citrus is pleading their case with a flag down that the penalty's against them, but very well could this be yet another setback for the Owls. In the penalty department in the opening half, the Tigers have been penalized 5 times for 22 yards. Citrus has yet to have a flag go against them. And it looks like it'll be the 6th penalty against Riverside here in the 3rd quarter.
And that's exactly what burdened the Riverside Tigers the first half. It wasn't necessarily huge yardage on those penalties. You know, typically on 5 penalties, you would see a lot more yardage accumulated, but it's when the penalties have occurred that have stopped Riverside.
Absolutely. I will commend what Citrus College is doing, as it will be a 6th penalty against Riverside, none for Citrus. This is the least penalized team in the National Central Conference, the most illustrious conference this season in Southern California. Only 77 penalties. Meanwhile, Riverside, they have been flagged over 120 times this year for 1,000-plus yards. 11:09 to go in the third quarter. Riverside trails by 4 and have a 1st and 20 from their